Alright, so these are going to be the final battles I'm going to be doing during Season 19, which is also the season right before the major move rework in Pokemon GO. So a lot of the current meta is going to be completely shifted into something new. I think starting tomorrow, actually, on is it the 3rd tomorrow? Yeah. So more than likely, I'll probably do a live stream and also be putting out some videos this week of the new season. But I wanted to just kind of touch base with where I'm at right now in Pokemon GO, at least competitively, and yeah, just kind of showcase these final battles, which I do end up actually hitting Veteran here, which I've been talking about doing on stream, but I just have not put any time or effort into hitting anything above this season, or even just generally lately. So I'm running my OG team with Scrafty, Tentacruel, and Cresselia. I went back to regular Cresselia instead of Shadow because it absolutely is just better to have that bulk on Crest than get that extra amount of damage output. And yeah, I had some really good sets for what I played in my final time, for my final battles of the season. I'm sure I could have tried to get in more, but like I said, well, I haven't said it here yet, but I've been saying it in my last videos and my streams. I haven't really been playing too actively this season. I've been trying to keep up with things. I still enjoy playing the game, but the game just feels so, I don't know if the right word to say is broken, but it's not even necessarily that every match is determined by some sort of lag or anything. It really isn't. You know, a lot of it is just me trying to, you know, be comfortable in my playstyle of like counting and all that. But yeah, and also like putting the right amount of time into the season. And also playing it more serious. I mean, if you've been following this channel, I've hit Legend in the past, of course, but a lot of times I try to do it by the means of using Spice. And a lot of times to try to pull something off like that, I kind of have to play more because I'm going to be getting more of like a closer to 50% win rate depending on what team I'm using. But point being is I haven't really been playing much lately. And a lot of it really is due to personal life decisions that are occurring. You know, I am still regularly making content when I can and when I'm enjoying it, but it's not really a priority of mine. I'm not like making a living off of doing this at all. This is purely a hobby. But I just want to touch base because this next season, I'm like between Pokemon GO getting a complete move rework, which is exciting in itself, even if the game does feel laggy or not working properly online, which is a huge discouragement, honestly, from my perspective. And I've been stating about how like charge teams, I'm like finally at this point where I haven't been playing enough that my charge team scenario is actually detrimental to me building new Pokemon. But like, woe is me, whatever about that right now. My point is, this new move rework really shakes up the game a lot, at least competitively. And hopefully it's not just like a short-lived like excitement. Hopefully these new metas are fun to play in the Pokemon. You know, obviously there's going to be a meta that formulates out of this, and people are going to feel some sort of way about those Pokemon regardless. But I think it's actually a really cool time to potentially get back into competitive Pokemon. I know Dynamax is going live this week too. I honestly have, you know, honestly, I'm like I stay so oblivious to Pokemon GO. I don't even know what's going on with it. I have no idea what Dynamax even does in this game. What's the point of it? I mean, maybe it's more because I don't really care about how they've implemented Mega Evolution even in this game that much. I mean, getting that XL candy is nice, but that's only a problem that's created by the game itself. You know what I mean? Like, they somehow create a problem and then solved it within the game, which consequently is just your time as the player. But anyways, there was a moment where they allowed us to play Master or Mega Pokemon in Master League. That was fun. I mean, that made it feel worth it to a degree. You know, I was running Mega Altaria in Master League, and yeah, I know I'm not commentating much on the battles here right now. I'm just trying to touch base with people that are subscribed to this YouTube channel and just letting people know what to expect moving forward. So between GO's meta shakeup, some of you might know if you follow my channel, I'm actually a really big VGC kind of guy. I've been into VGC long before Pokemon GO was even a thing. And whenever Scarlet and Violet came out, I actually put a lot of effort into traveling to different regionals and competing, and I got more comfortable with my skills. But I've been juggling between different competitive Pokemon games that I really enjoy playing, and that being Go, which I did get 9th place at the first NAIC for Go. And it was a good match. I honestly feel like if I would have just shielded differently in my final battle, I would have been able to top cut and get day 2 or whatever. But that's not the point. I mean, my point is that I do feel like when I put my mind to something competitively, I can, be a pretty big adversary in the scene. And in Pokemon Go, I've kind of like become more of a filthy casual over the last year or two, purely because I almost feel like after NAIC, I was kind of going through some stuff, and I stopped playing factions, and I just kind of took a backseat from competitive Go in general. But I was playing VGC actively, and even this past year, since I wasn't competing in the last cycle of Worlds, the one that was in Honolulu, I haven't been really playing much VGC, and I really have just been casually playing Go. So I guess the point I'm trying to make here is, between Go right now and VGC, I'm trying to decide if I'm getting back into the competitive cycle this next few months or half year or whatever it takes, year. I do want to try to take it serious again, and I want to plan it a little more since I am busy, because it could be fun. It's something I want to do, is get invited to Worlds at least once. Even if I just get crushed in round 1, it would be amazing to just get the invite. So that's going to require me to do maybe some regionals, but more than likely I might try to focus on locals this time around instead of trying to spend money on traveling, because I really don't think where I'm at right now with what I need to be saving money for, it's a great idea that I spend that much money traveling. I mean, it's one thing if my YouTube channel or something, somehow that could help offset some of the cost of traveling and all that, but I'm not gonna, I don't know. These days I don't really feel comfortable. On Twitch back then I used to kind of have donation goals, but I haven't done anything like that for years, and I don't particularly feel like I'm gonna do that unless, I mean, I might, but that's not really that's if I do it, I'll just put it on, it'll be a last minute thought, I'll just put it up on the stream. If something happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But my point being is, Go right now is a huge change, which could be exciting to try to be part of that. And also right now in VGC, they've actually taken a step back with the format, and they've removed all legendary Pokemon, all paradox Pokemon, which is huge. And if I'm being honest, I'm leaning towards VGC because I tend to have a more positive experience playing VGC over Go. And as much as I have fun playing Go, I think it's a fun game. It's more just the constant issues and almost feels like disrespect from the developers to the player base. And just the system in itself at this point, charge TMs, XL candy. I mean, it's been like that even when I tied for 9th in NAIC years ago. But yeah, ultimately, I just feel like I am open to the idea of trying to get back into Go again. I might do both at the start to see what I feel, because I feel like the way locals will work is, depending on the event, they might let me sign up for both, because usually they'll hold a VGC and Go tournament at the same time. But regardless, I think I'm really leaning towards at least VGC, but I think it would be easier for me to decide if I played early on in both formats to see what am I more leaning towards, because VGC, I feel like no matter how much I tend to struggle occasionally in a battle, I feel like there's always a lot of insight I can gain and learn from, and there's a lot of things I have control over, even though there is RNG and critical hits, blah blah blah. But in Go, I feel like it's a little more reactionary, how you have to play the game. You have to be really quick on your feet. You have to be counting and really keeping math in your head consistently about what you're doing in the match. And they're just different games overall, but they're just both under an IP that I have much love for. Growing up with it and still part of my adult life, which is insane to think that, I don't know, I would never thought that 25 years, 26 years, I think, even at this point, I don't know, it's been maybe even longer, I think 26 years. It's kind of crazy to think that it's still such a huge part of my life, even though I've changed to a degree, but I'm pretty much probably the same person also. You know, just trying to be more responsible. You know, maybe you've even noticed if you follow this channel like over the years, especially since my inception, I've definitely chilled out a bit. Tried to, you know, I'm still a sassy individual. There's nothing that's ever going to change that. But yeah, I've just tried to be a little more toned down in general, you know, because that's just how I feel as of lately. I don't know, maybe it's getting older, but I think it's also just kind of like, well, there's more behind it, but I don't really feel like getting too much into my personal life, that's for sure here. But I guess I'll continue on this video narrating. And yeah, if you're watching and you enjoyed this discussion so far, definitely consider subscribing and liking the video, because I do have a history in the Go scene. I mean, I'm not like someone's gonna like, I don't know how much relevance I ever had. I mean, I was just some dude playing the game for a hobby, and I definitely have touched, I mean, hold on, let me rephrase how I say it. I've met people that have, like, you know, enjoyed my content in the past, but I guess what I'm trying to say is I definitely enjoy playing Go, but my mindset in Go is more casual, and I think I'd more enjoy just breaking the meta when I play this game in Go Battle League. And, you know, you have to think of it this way too. I'm putting myself in difficult scenarios. Look at this team. Like, every time I run this team on Twitch, and if I get raided by someone, by a lot of people, everyone's always asking me, why do you run Confusion Cresselia? But it's like, I just feel like it makes a lot of sense here. It's such a nuanced decision on this team, but it's purely for the poison types, you know, like Venusaur, Victory Bell, things that you can't hit with a Grass Knot and Moonblast effectively, and a Psycho Cut's just not going to do enough. And also, any scenario where I can farm down is actually insane when opponents try to preserve shields. So I'm definitely not trying to downplay my involvement in Pokemon Go, because I've definitely grinded the game a lot over the years. But I am just, you know, it's more of a hobby for me, and I'm here to, you know, if anything, try to create entertaining content, or at least show you, you know, you could play the game how you want to a degree and still find some success. And like I was saying a bit earlier, you know, you really do have to be at a certain level to run Spice, and not it just be an excuse that you're running it, you know, because some people run Spice, but they're just not good at the game. So it's like a good excuse to be like, oh, well, I didn't win because I ran this thing. But in my mind, I'm like, I want the challenge. I think it's more exciting to play this way. And that's where a lot of my videos come from. It's like, sometimes I'll post a ridiculous team. I think I had a Love Cup battle years ago where I posted a team with Jinx on it, like 3 Confusion users. And someone commented that they tried to use a team and they found like they were just struggling so much. And I felt kind of bad, because I just felt like it was kind of obvious that when you see a Jinx in Great League, that's not a serious team. But yeah, I guess they were a little upset that they got some losses running that. But ultimately, I do feel like the way I would approach, I approach like tournament play, or even my factions, I still like to go spicy, but I tone it down a lot than I do on my Go Battle League. Because Go Battle League, you can do stuff that you can't do in a best of 3 match. Like, I can trick you. You're not going to know my back line. You're not going to be able to predict my moveset necessarily. I mean, just the fact of my Confusion Cresselia is what catches most people off guard when I'm using this Pokemon. But point being is, I would probably never run Confusion Cresselia in a tournament, because it's not consistent enough, and it's not going to really give me that edge I need. And it's going to lose in any mirror match for sure. So while I have success with this type of team, and I'm extremely happy that I get to play this team here in the end, while this team's probably never going to see the light of day again after this season, as far as I know. It's really just been a pleasure, you know, being able to make content and play the game how I want to. So again, I'm leaning towards VGC for this upcoming Worlds, but I am going to keep it open and try both early on to see what I like. Let me know what you think I should do, or what you would do if you were in my position. But thanks for tuning into the video. That was my last battles of Season 19. And with that being said, the Sass Squad is getting stronger each and every day. You have a good morning, evening, afternoon for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. And if you'd like to check out more Go Battle League content from me, consider watching this video right here, or this video right here.